Well, I was watching live when Donald Trump was holding a New Hampshire town hall session, because everything Donald Trump does is live on cable news. And that was the moment, and it was a jaw-dropping moment, when that questioner, who nobody has been able to find so far, talked about the big problem in this country is Muslims, and our president is a Muslim and not American. And Trump did not respond to that, but answered the second part of the question, sort of, about going after Muslim terrorist training camps. And this became a huge media issue, and I knew instantly that it would. And in part, that's because of Trump's background, questioning whether Barack Obama was born in this country. And I thought he had moved off that. He made a big deal about it in 2011. The president produced his long-term birth certificate, and when he's been asked about it in this campaign, Trump has said, well, that's an old story, I want to move on, but he has not renounced what he said. Well, after staying quiet for about 24 hours, Donald Trump decided to start attacking the media on this whole thing and called in to Meet the Press and State of the Union and ABC's This Week, and continued to say that he had handled it just fine, and it was the press that had a problem with it, prompting an email from Jerry Carpenter, who says, my take on the incident is Donald Trump appropriately responded to the questioner. Donald Trump is a presidential candidate. The questioner was an average person, for all we know. Donald Trump laughed and brushed her statement aside and then responded quickly to the questions about terrorist camps. The outcry by the media is not deserving of the two players in the question and answer. Their furor elevated the ordinary guy beyond who he is. He is not a giant media figure. This is key to understanding why millions of us see in him, what millions of us see in him, and the media and political class do not. We join Trump in his scorn for the stone throwers of media and political class. Well, I understand that, Jerry. I understand that the way in which many of the people in the media establishment continue to denigrate Donald Trump makes you mad, because you see him as a breath of fresh air in a kind of a disappointing or corrupt political class. But as far as the questioner being just some nobody, that is true. But let's not forget Joe the plumber in 2008. He was just a plumber. And the way in which he inserted himself into the dialogue when he tried to ask President Obama a question, and the way in which John McCain seized on that and talked about Joe the plumber in his first debate against Barack Obama, and Joe the plumber had his 15 moments of fame. You know, sometimes these ordinary questioners become stand-ins for average American people. Now, I don't think this questioner and his deep-rooted animus against Muslims, including peace-loving Muslims, I guess, and his absolute conviction that Barack Obama is not a Christian, I don't think he speaks for all Americans or even a major chunk of the country. But the question that the media had to grapple with is, should Donald Trump have said something? Should he have done something? Trump says no. I think most of his supporters agree with that. I think it was a legitimate story to cover, but I think, like so many other things where Trump has gotten in trouble for saying something, this is a little different because he got into trouble for not saying something. I don't think it hurts Donald Trump at all in the end, and I think that, if anything, people who support Donald Trump, who like Donald Trump, who are drawn to Donald Trump, like the way he handled it, that he did kind of brush it off, and that he's not, once again, playing the media's game.